I said come in. Don't stand there.
Howdy to the subscribers, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. You might remember me saying that Stalker 2 won't be like Gamma. And there may have been a few who interpreted my statements as a dismissal of Gamma, or that I hate Gamma. No. I have immense respect for the work Grok and tons of other modders have done for the Stalker community, and the only thing that's going on here is that we have vastly different definitions of what fun is, and I'm only communicating what those are. Don't confuse me having an opinion with me wanting to stop you. Mod the game however you want.
This just shows why we can't have nice things.
I'm just glad that we're talking about Stalker.
So peaceful. It's like a resort.
But that brings me to
6
things modders have implemented and are prevalent in Anomaly and its derivative mod packs. This may lead people who have yet to play the original trilogy to think that they are from Stalker, while credit, or condemnation, should go to modders. And from what I'm seeing, 44% of you are really missing out. Trust me, they're great, and I believe you should mod them however you'd like in your first playthrough. I do believe that. And obviously, if you've played the original games, you know this, but humor me, will you? Starting off with crafting, maintenance, and repair. Why are my accents all mixed up? Starting off with crafting, maintenance, and repair kits. Believe it or not, the concept of crafting is foreign to the Stalker 1 trilogy. It's true. The way you take care of your equipment is by going to a technician and kindly asking him to fix your stuff in exchange for money. Or, in the case of the military in Call of Pripyat, for while in Anomaly, you find yourself dealing with a lot of redundant clutter for weapon maintenance and a whole bunch of recipes. The truth is that none of this was in the original games.
And that ruins the condition of the rifle. Why? Why? That doesn't make a modicum of sense.
And I honestly cannot fathom why a Hardened Steel file or Leatherman multi-tool is a requirement to perform basic maintenance on your weapon. Here's a YouTube compliant demo of how to maintain a firearm. As you can see, a Leatherman might be useful for some things, but a file? All you need to maintain a firearm is a small cleaning kit and lubricant. And no, taking apart your firearm doesn't downgrade its condition like in some mods. And for actual damage or repairs, you might actually end up needing a real gunsmith or technician, which makes it all more disappointing when some of these mod packs made our beloved technicians absolutely useless.
Here's to a steady hand.
As you can tell, I am not very fond of making weapon maintenance in a video game more complicated than it is in real life. Even making it more complicated than it needs to be.
I really don't understand. Water? Why? No, you don't use water to clean a firearm. You don't. And the game rewards you for using water. You don't. Oh my god. You don't. No, you don't do that. Like, you don't do that. No.
I do like the idea of having a cleaning kit or a small sewing kit with you in the zone for maintenance and small repairs, but since there's a huge difference between dirty and damaged, I love making use of my local technician.
That's what this says, seaman.
What brings you to my forest, young man?
Your stuff. Hold on.
If you want to simplify equipment upkeep in Anomaly, I strongly recommend the Simplified Repair mod, link below. So where does all this junk come from? If I'm not mistaken, it was introduced by Misery, cool back then, but today it's just a pain in the ass for me because Anomaly has it by default. Which is a bit of a pity because what was meant to be a pretty deliberately hardcore mod where crafting was important became de facto canon for Stalker, since Anomaly is pretty big. That was more than enough salt, so let's go on to one that I like. Companions were a planned feature for the original games that sort of made their way into Call of Pripyat, but what we really saw there was your squad going to the same places you're supposed to go at your pace.
I signed up as soon as I found out you need help. I'll follow you to the bitter end, man.
Oh, these are my guys. Okay.
You know, I thought I'd be safer with you.
However, it was never present in the game in the same way that we see it in Anomaly, mostly because the artificial intelligence, well, it's missing the intelligence part. It's very much alive, a life They called it A-Life for a reason. A-Smart is a whole different matter. Well, I think I know why GSC cut it from the game. I do think that there is merit to having companions. Everyone else in the game seems to find buddies that'll hang around with them, and, you know, there have been many moments in which my companions have been a very valuable asset, and others in which they've been a liability, both of which have enriched the experience, only excluding the ones where they've just been dumb. You see, I have never cooked anything in Anomaly and its derivative mods, and I likely have more than a couple hundred hours in them, maybe even more. I can't be bothered to do it. I was perfectly happy eating bread, wieners, and cans in the old games, and when modders tried forcing my hand into using their hunting mechanics by making up a myth that there's famine around the world and stalkers have to hunt in the zone, I ended up modifying the redonk prices on food sold by traders in Anomaly, and you know, this game mechanic is something I possess no knowledge in, so commentary is going to be limited. I'm just not interested in it at all. I don't know if it's good, I don't know if it's bad, or whatever. I'm sorry, I just don't care for hunting mutants. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. If you like it, I get why it does add another level of depth into the game. But if we see this in the future, I just hope we'll have a more normal wildlife that we can hunt. I just don't see myself eating beavers and other mutants. Since we're already talking about being a healthy boy, here's another one. Compound healing solutions. Most of this complexity comes from having a body health system requiring different items to heal different kinds of injuries and wounds, both of which were introduced by mods. There's certainly a lot of merit into making a system like this work in the games, but the originals did keep it simple, making you only need your function keys to heal wounds and radiation damage. You get hurt, just tap one of the function keys. I did like it this way because it meant that you didn't need to open your inventory window as often, but I wouldn't have a problem with, say, Stalker 2 incorporating a body health system similar to that of Kingdom Come Deliverance, for example. I did like that one a lot. I'd just like us to be careful about de facto canonizing clutter-inducing systems, because I just hate clutter. Artifacts in the original games were a fun balancing act to toy with. In my review of Radiophobia 3, I talked about how that mod made me appreciate that a whole lot more. You see, in Anomaly and its derivative mod packs, all of the useful artifacts you can find emit radiation. Everything else is a useless artifact to you. So, the useful artifacts you place in a heavy container, and that's how you protect yourself from the radiation damage, which means more inventory clutter. I did like it more when you had to balance the radiation damage with other artifacts as well as not having half of them not be functional in the zone. So, next time you discover a useless artifact or plop one in a container, remember, it wasn't always like this. I left this one for last because it's pretty interesting, but still needs clarifying because I've noted that some people believe that these two antagonists are original from the trilogy. Eidolon is a character created for Anomaly's story. There are some people who have speculated that the blind man from the Come To Me trailer is him, so I think it's a fair clarification or footnote to make. But Sin is different. Sin comes from cut content from the Stalker 1 trilogy, but they really aren't canon, at least not yet. I think Sin is a good faction. I liked fighting them. They really make me think of Stalkers who worship the Zone as opposed to the Monolith who are possessed by it, possessed by the Monolith. But yeah, as fun and interesting as it is to fight Sin in Anomaly, it's not from the Stalker 1 trilogy. If you want to dive deeper into Sin's lore, check out the Lost Alpha. That is a great way to experience that. Hopefully, if anything, this video has encouraged you to go and play the original games as well as the incomplete builds of them and their derivatives. I'm not a gameplay originalist, so I 100% recommend looking at mods that will modernize the experience for you, make it more fun, improve the gunplay for you. Just be mindful of what is being altered. I don't believe in a single Stalker experience being the definitive one, but we always have to recognize what these experiences build off of, which is the whole point of this video. And that's because I'm not a really big fan of canonizing mods, which explains the motivation of my thinking when I made the video about Stalker 2 not being like Gamma. Stalker is like hot chocolate. Everyone has their own recipe. Some people like it simple and balanced. Some people like it more chocolatey. Others milky. Some people like to make it with water instead of milk. And there's others who saturate it with spices. Those people scare me. We'll talk more about this at another time. But until then, may the zone be with you. What?